This is Angela with Creatively Done, and today I am going to be doing a kind of a clean cup, but I'm just going to be pouring on some paper so I can dip the cabochons that I showed in my previous video and make them into pieces of jewelry. This should be interesting. My cameras are hanging on by a thread, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some paints in here, and I have Mars Black, I have Saks Gold, Copper, Antique Copper, McEart, a little bit of Methyl Crimson Red, and of course this is the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some colors rather than just pouring them right on here. I'm going to pour them into a cup, a little bit, start off with black. I have on a new pair of gloves, so you know this is something that I really wanted to record. And let me wipe that off so I can close the container. And I am going to put in, layer my colors in this little cup, and then I'm going to pour them onto this paper. So, since I'm going to be using darker pendants, as you can see here, and I have my cabochons already on the fun tack, and we're going to be dipping them. This should be fun, guys. I've never done this before, so I'm just going to give it a go. I'm going to put in some gold, and you can see it in the cup, and then some of the copper. And if you can see it anywhere, I'm just pouring some in the cup. A splash of red, maybe a splash of gold in between. I really don't need that much paint. I'm probably going to be having too much paint here, but and I'm going to put a little bit more of the black, and this has some sequin black in it. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to pour this onto the paper. Oh, why do I wish I can always do a reverse dip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this onto the board. And a traveling ring pour here and come back and around. And make it as if it was a big giant pendant itself. This is a lot of paint. I only have 14 cabochons that I want to do, but this will make a fantastic skin too. So if I just get the paint out on the piece of, it's not really parchment paper. It's hard to define what it is because it was recycled paper that I got from a friend a long time ago. Now you can see the paints are just out on the piece of paper. I'm going to take one of my cabochons that are hopefully secure, and all I'm going to do is dip it in the paint. Maybe make that a little bit thinner. I think I remember her having it a little bit thinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit, so I'm not dipping too much in too much paint. If you can see me on one camera or one on the other, it's hard to watch what's being recorded when you're trying to do this. This is not a completely level surface either, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work. But hey, this is what I said. When you're having fun, getting something creatively done, you just want to have fun. So what you do is you try something new. It's paint on a piece of paper. The cabochons are not that hard to work with. The fun tag was easy to put on there. And as you can see, it's a pretty interesting composition the way it is. when I start dipping in cabochons, which, by the way, this is the first time I'm doing this. I have them on a little skewer. I'm going to dip it in the paint, pull it up, and hope for the best. Put them in and go on to the next one. And I'm going to dip it in the gold area, pull it up. Looks good on this side, but that won't be the side that you see. So hopefully these will turn out fine. I'm real happy to try something new and not expect it to be perfect the first time. So I'm setting them in the styrofoam. If you can see it, they're just out of frame. There we go. And you probably could see it on the top there, but these are secure. My hands are basically clean. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to dip, hold it, and pull it up. Oh, got a little on the extras on the other side, but I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to clean that off. But oh, they look gorgeous on the reverse side. Let's see if they turn out that way when they're dry. If they're not, I can always set them in water. I didn't need like 1/20 of this paint. I have 4 done already, and I've barely, so I'm going to pick areas where I see the colors that I like, and I'm going to do a reverse dip with just a small canvas or something. I'm not going to let all that paint go to waste. But if it dries, I can cut it up and make it into skins for the round cabochons. I didn't plan on doing that, but you can see all I'm doing is setting them up. And remember, in the first little video little couple minute video, all I did was show you how I set up all of the cabochons first, so that when I'm doing this, my hands are basically clean, and yeah, they're all going to be basically the same color tones, but they're gorgeous. And that means that more than one person can have it, or I can make sets of earrings with these. Now, hopefully they're level enough. This is going a lot easier than I thought it was. And Mickey E., I want to thank you for showing me this, because the skins are great, but this is truly going to be a random design. And I think it's going to turn out just great. They don't fall off here. If they do, then, or they're not level, then I'm trying to pick places that are interesting on the paint itself. The paint is barely moving. It's kind of like doing a balloon kiss or a reverse something or other. And let me see. I like the black, the bronze. And I don't know if you'll be able to see on the reverse side where it might just dry that way, but the back sides are gorgeous. And unfortunately, you can only put them in the pendants in one direction. So let's get some here that's red. And that one looks good. I'm going to run out of room on here. No, I won't. No, that'll be fine. Get another one that looks, this is an interesting spot here. And now, what looked like just little blue eyeballs with the fun tack on it. Now we just, oh, this is real pretty too though. Let me get one more. And let's see. I want one that has a lot of bronze in it. So I'm going to go right here. I'm barely touching the paint. The cabochon to the paint. And now you can see I have all this paint left. Well, there's still some even in the cup. So I don't know if I could see in here. This is, I hate to waste paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out of the cup. It's not muddy, just so it comes out of the cup and makes it's mostly black in the bottom here. just to get it out of the cup. And again, designs like this are completely random. You can put your paints in a certain order, and depending on how heavy the paint is, from what I've seen, the paint will sink to the bottom. But this is gorgeous, just like this. Just the colors that you're seeing here. And the design that's here. I'm going to stop playing around with that one and let it go. Let it go. And put another little bit down. I just hate to waste paint. And instead of it going down the drain or being washed, if I take it out of the cup and I put it, even if I want to make a skin or something on this back side, at least I have something to cut around. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to move this just a little bit. See if I can get some of it to move around a little bit. Remember, this is on a piece of paper, so it's not like a canvas. It moves a lot quicker, it seems. I don't want it to go off the paper, so I'm going to bring it back to the center and off a little bit more. I might close up some of these paints since they really don't need to be open, and I don't want to spill them. Pull up my sleeves here a little bit, guys. And as you can see, I can't move my cameras because but if you can see, the cabochons are covered. I don't want to move them too much. They're not completely level. Here it is on this camera. Let's see if it'll focus. I need better lighting and all that good stuff. I'm working on all of this. But let me set these down and to the side so I don't knock them over. And these will be the pendants that I will put them in once they're dry, either the darker ones or the lighter gold ones, depending on what they'll look better in. And with this gold in here, this is so pretty. These are my favorite colors. Gold, bronze, red, black. In fact, the gold, since I put it between the colors, see how it's making it. You know, I should really torch this and see if I get any cells. I just don't want it to run off the paper. I'm trying to keep it on this piece of slick paper. Not that it won't come off the container, which is recycled, by the way. Everything I do, I save containers, and it looked like I was a professional hoarder, but everything that I've saved, I've been able to use to create my art. So instead of spending money on containers like this one that was from something sweet, no doubt, some kind of goodie, I can now use it as a base. And as you can see, it's be pretty hard to pick up a piece of paper, but it's a little bit easier to pick it up when it has a background, when it has a color. I mean, no, not a color, when it has a base. So I'm moving this probably a little too fast, but I wanted to make it as spread out as I could. Oh, that's real interesting with the gold around the bronze, isn't it? Now this is not level, so this is concerning me. I may just take it off this and put it right on the table, because the table is level. See, this is buckling, so I didn't want it to be moving too much. Now, as much as I said I didn't want to move just the paper. Anne-Marie, you've done this so many times with Yupo paper. Anne-Marie Ritterhoff, my goodness, one of the masters. This is not Yupo paper. It's much, much thinner, but it still seems to be holding its own there. And I don't want to lose all that gold. It kind of looks like it's surrounding the other colors. It kind of looks like a tree of life, really. And I might keep it in that design. You can see the trunk, and there's the leaves, and there's the roots. And if I were to use a palette knife or something, I probably could get it to be a little bit more. Let me see if I could just spread it out a little bit down here so the roots will come down. Okay, this is the trunk. These are the leaves. That looks great. Let me set that off to the side. don't know if you guys can see this. I always move it out of frame instead of in frame. I'm trying my best to get better at this filming. Now, I don't know if I should just leave it alone and let it dry. Let me torch it and see if there's any, and this is something you'd be careful with. It's on paper, and I don't think I'm going to get any cells. Although there was some silicone in this paint, this paint's been sitting for a while. I'm going to torch these just real quick. So if there's any, I don't want to crack them, but I'll set the skewers on fire. Let me get this back in frame so you can see what I'm talking about here. These are all set, and this is where they will dry. And hopefully, oh, the back sides of them are so pretty. I hope the front side turns out to be just as pretty. Now, again, here's where you could put a canvas over this, and I do have some small canvas panels that I can put over. My other ones would be too big for it, but I think I'm going to let this dry because this looks great just the way it is. So I'm going to leave that be if I could. There we go, that tree trunk. There we go. There we go. It has nowhere to run, so it's not going to run off, but let me see if I can just maneuver this just a little bit. There we go. The table is level, so it might take a while to dry, but these paints have GAC 800 in it too, so that'll prevent it from doing a lot of cracking, at least I hope so. But see, this is really hard to hold a piece of paper. Oh, no, I'm getting a little too snazzy there. I'm going to leave it just like that. And if I get it in frame, let's see, which way do I have to go? There we go. That's in frame. That's in frame. So is my stuff in the background. Ignore that. And I'm going to try to turn this off. This stand is not holding up, so I'm going to have to let them know that I've broken another one. But this is Angela with Creatively Done. We have cabochons, 16 centimeter ones that we're going to be putting on pendants. It was done with wet paint, and we are done for today. So we had some fun. We got something creatively done. Have a great day, guys.